Good morning, men. Good morning, Red Pill men. This is formerly known as Muslim MGTOW. Still working on the name. I had to reply to Dark Matter 2525 here on his video about the Red Pill. I don't disagree with all of his points because I say myself that a lot of the Red Pill talking points are, going into this religious thing, and I also have my own complaints about the Red Pill as far as like all this talk about a high value male and all this other stuff, because it's really the common man who's struggling, and the reason for MGTOW is for the common man to walk away. But so I had to watch the video up until a point where it was something that he could say something. He said something where I could actually respond to it. So we're going to start right here about 14 minutes in, where he wants to try to use this point here, and then we're going to take it from there.
Enthusiastically embrace. It's the most remarkable projection I've ever seen.
I think if we asked men and women at this table to list off how they're oppressed in today's
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm going to go back a couple more seconds.
Hypocrisy is that these were also the major complaints they've had of their political opposition. Selling. The main problem with their advice is twofold. One, they pit men and women against each other as adversaries. And two, they treat relationships transactionally. The great hypocrisy is that these were also the major complaints they've had of their political opposition. They use identity politics, oppression Olympics, and grievance culture to make their complaints. The very same criticisms they've had of leftism and feminism, and whether or not those criticisms were legitimate or not, they are now the traits that they enthusiastically embrace. It's the most remarkable projection I've ever seen.
I think if we asked men and women at this table to list off how they're oppressed in today's society, then men could come up with a much bigger list.
Men are more oppressed than women, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not only today, but historically too.
And so men are scared to even speak to women.
Visibility, men have climbing rates of like suicide.
I think that we're perfectly okay with going through something, but if we don't see a way out because of all the progress that women have made, we've had to tilt the scale so you guys have a greater advantage in pretty much every aspect of life, and men just don't see that light at the end of the tunnel. That's why we just kill ourselves.
Hello, darkness. The reason why men have to lead is because women are inherently self-destructive. Men need to lead because since women are emotional thinkers and they're more erratic and they're more dependent on how they feel, right? That can cause some destructive things. And women have all the same rights and privileges that men do while having female privileges that men will never enjoy. So the reality is life is easier for women in 2023. Privilege is invisible to those that have it. She said that knowing, right? Like it didn't even come to her mind that I'm getting these privileges because I'm a woman. She went ahead and said it anyway. It actually made your argument weaker. But women don't see it because privilege is invisible to them because it's so common.
Notice how he has appropriated the language of feminism to attack feminism.
Yes. Okay. The reason why we started off, we've been doing that for a very long time. Very long time. Because, for instance, like the pay gap. Women have been talking about a pay gap. But one of the things, this is something I said a long time ago, that was kind of contradicting towards the pay gap, and that is that women, while women may get paid less at work, however, whenever business advertise 80% to women, because 80% of their money comes from women. Okay, that means men give their money over to women after we work for it. Okay? So we're trying to highlight the hypocrisy here. All right? When women say that there's a pay gap and women are suffering because of a pay gap, we actually go over the numbers and realize, oh shit, no, it's actually men who are getting paid far less. Google did the same. Google did this. Years ago, they did a survey. They found out all the men were getting paid way less than the women were, based upon how the years of experience, their education, and what have you, whatnot. Okay, so let's continue. I'm sorry, let's not continue yet. So the point, the conclusion I'm trying to get at it here is that whenever we took all of the women's talking points and realized that they're all can be used against them. Because they're dumb. Women are dumb. They say things, they project, and then they what is the word? They manifest it, girl. They try to manifest it. They manifest their oppression. They're not oppressed. Women have never been oppressed, and that's a talking point that feminists like to say. They've been oppressed all throughout history, even though they've been protected and respected. That's where chivalry comes from. But anyway, yeah, if we're going to talk about oppression, men caught mostly black lung. Men were the ones who were buried alive in mines. Men are the ones who get left on ships when they're sinking because save the women and children. That's why we use their talking points against them. Okay, Myron showed you an example right then and there. Privilege is invisible to those who have it. And he was just showing you. He just showed you. And you still missed it.
If you think that men are so much more tough and capable than women, then why complain about women being given advantages?
He didn't say that. We said oppressed. We're talking about equality here. Okay?
A big, strong, masculine, tough guy should be able to cope with that.
A big, strong...
Why even notice?
Shaming language.
Or care. What are they even doing complaining? That's not stoic. It's like crying because your sister got 3 toys when you only got 2. And it's even worse if they're wrong. And women really do have it worse than men. Then they're just adding insult to injury. I know I wouldn't.
But we're not wrong. And women do not have it worse than men. Can you explain to me how women have it worse than men when men have to die to get a woman, but women just exist to get a man? And protection. They don't have to die for their own protection. We have to die for their protection.
Want to be a woman. But even if they're right, these are the worst types.
Wait a minute, he said what now?
Then they're just adding insult to injury.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wouldn't want to be a woman. But even if they're right, these are the worst types of immature, petty attitudes to have when trying to obtain and maintain a mature, meaningful, long-term relationship. For instance, you know how some couples get into that argument in which they fight over which one of them does more for the other one?
Yeah, it's usually the man who
That's
does
not
more for the
concerning.
other.
In a healthy, mature relationship, you should be perfectly fine with doing more for your partner than they do for you. Unless
You should be. That's fine. I am fine with that. Women are the ones who always have a problem with doing more for men. Oh, what an idiot. Have you ever met a woman? Have you ever listened to them talk for 5 minutes?
they're deliberately taking advantage of you, or to a lesser degree, you think they're taking you for granted and are unappreciative. I can understand
They are.
that could be frustrating, but if you truly care about them and want what's best for them, then that should not be something that endangers the relationship.
What?
One of the more blatant ways they use identity politics is through what you kids these days refer to as the pick-me's. Typically, they are attractive young women who become very popular by telling men what they think men want to hear, which usually entails putting down women in some way and or telling men that bad behavior is actually good behavior. This
This is more female logic coming out of a man's mouth. Okay, there's a pick me. All right, the girls who they consider pick me. All right, yeah, Pearl might be that. But the girls who they consider pick me's are any kind of girl that can see that. Well, first of all, disagrees with the woman collective. You know, the female narrative that, you know, all women should be protected and respected. Women should never be hit. No, women should get hit. The fuck is wrong with you? Women should get hit just like if I should get hit. If there's any reason why I should get hit, if there's any reason why I should be thrown in jail, if there's any reason why I should suffer or feel pain, women should suffer and feel the same pain. Okay? Because they're equals and they are adults. Are they equals and they're adults? No, they're not equals and adults. Okay, then they shouldn't get equal pay. Oh, they should get equal pay. Then they are equals and adults. Then they're not equals and adults. Then they shouldn't get equal pay. But they are equals and adults. Oh, no, they should get equal pay. So then they are equals and adults.